Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome to the inside of my van. This is where all the money making happens. And if you guys see, you pay attention to all the little details. When you look at this, you already know that this is a money making van. This is the left hand that I steer with. Basically today what I want to do is I want to replace my current power inverter and put in a little bigger unit. It costs almost the same amount of money for the previous one that I had versus like a 500 watt one. And this guy here will come with 4 USB, 5 volt, 2.4 amp chargers. And then you got 3 outlets, because before I was using only really one to do a laptop here and there and maybe charge something. Nowadays I pull the fridge back there, and then I do a drone charging, and I do also something else always charging, plus the fridge running. So I have 2 things in the power outlets, and then I always consistently run at least 2 chargers for a phone and camera and maybe something else. So I use up a lot of power right now, and it's always been plugged in. I'll show you guys the setup that I had, and I'll tell you the reason why I'm changing it out. It's not like it's gonna die any minute, but I'll show you guys everything here in a second. Basically with a new one, what you can do is do it the cheap way of plugging this in. These ones will go here, you guys can see, red and black, and then you plug this into your cigarette lighter, which in essence will put me back in the same position where I was, where I'm drawing way too much amperage, and I don't want to blow a fuse in my cigarette lighter. And that's really the only one that I have in the van that actually works. I've got one behind the seat, but it doesn't work. So I'm gonna go straight to the battery with this. My battery is right here under the floor. So I'll take off all the mats, get to the battery, it's got a cover. We'll get back there and I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do. Basically, I got some wires, and we're gonna go from the battery straight to here. And this guy here comes with a power switch on the side, so you'll just have to always shut it off. It'll be on and off. I'll show you how it works later on. And then I'm gonna have a second cigarette lighter outlet right here. And I'm thinking, I'm gonna put this guy somewhere like right there. Right there is where I'm gonna keep it. That looks good over there. Somewhere on the floor, I'm gonna just attach it somehow, just like that right there. And that'll be good enough, because I don't want it to be laying around on the floor. My old one, I'll show you my old one. It was actually this guy right here. This cheesy one, it's a 150 watt one, but it shows you like your battery voltage when you have it plugged in. And when you turn on the outlets, it only came with 4 ports here, but they weren't really all what they needed to be. They weren't quick charge. And it had a fan in here, which this guy is the one that's breaking and dying right now. So we'll be changing this guy out, getting rid of this thing completely and just hooking that guy up straight to the battery. This one came with a plug-in for the cigarette lighter, which is right here. I mean, it's okay if you're doing a laptop and whatever. It comes with this guy right here, and then you can plug in your other one into that. But for me, this system is over. I'll show you guys what I purchased. This guy here, I'll leave an Amazon link in the description. I think it's under $40, 35 or somewhere around there for 500 watts, which is really good. I mean, I want to charge an e-bike, a scooter in here, run the, fridge in here, and charge up other things at the same time. And I don't feel like blowing the fuse in the cigarette lighter outlet. So, and that one, I've never had to put this back in. The cigarette lighter is over here. So we'll get to the battery under the floor mats. I'll show you guys what that looks like. Well, good thing I have smart kids, because my son goes, "Hey, I never knew you had a second one right there." I guess I do have a second outlet right there. This one must be the weaker one that always burns up in all the cars. It's the actual cigarette. And the other one is a 12 volt one down there. Either way, I'm still going straight to the battery with this guy, because that's how I want to do it. Battery cover, and the actual battery in the Sprinters, if you only have one battery, is right here where your feet are. So you just take the floor mat off, you get to this cover here, Once you unscrew this, you will get your battery in here. I already have my heater plugged into straight to the battery here. This red wire here, that's the heater from the back, the diesel heater. It's plugged into that, so we're gonna get here, and then we're gonna also, yeah, we're gonna need longer cables than what I originally thought, so good thing I got the right ones. Basically, I'm gonna come in here with my minus, and then we'll put the other, you know, I got some longer cables than what was given to me, so probably the original battery is still lasting long. For me, I've already had the van for 2 years. I don't even see. It's a Mercedes-Benz one, I'm not sure. But we'll get here. We'll get to plug in. Let's see, here, and there. This is an airbag one. All kinds of things here. So we'll come over here, and we'll plug into here. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. I already knew I was gonna have to get extended wires because this guy here just comes with these, which is silly because they're like, oh, clamp into here and you'll get your power. How are you supposed to do that? So I went to the store, I tried to get some thicker ones that were really pretty with the connectors on the ends like this, but they didn't have any. So I had to go to a few different stores around town, and I just went and got 10 gauge, which is the same thing as in a 10 gauge like extension cord, which 10 gauge is really good. It's good enough, it's not gonna melt. It's got nice thick wire right there, you guys can see. So I'm gonna cut what I need, attach it to there. I got my ends right here. We're gonna put it all together. The ends will go here, and we'll attach one here at the plus, one there at the minus, and we're gonna drag them out that way and plug them into here, plus and minus. And then this guy we're gonna later on attach to right there, and it's just gonna stay there on Velcro strips. And we're gonna be happy and golden. Should be great when we're done. Okay, one side is done, so basically you do this. Since this is complete, I'll show you how to do it on this side. You don't need too much, but about that much wire. Bam, right there. Then you take one of these little guys, put this through, kind of thread it a little bit. However much it threads. Doesn't go too far here, but, and then you use the same pliers and you crimp it like that. Yep. Maybe even a little too much crimping. Right there, there you go. That's how you do it. I'll put a little electrical tape on here because I don't really have, I only got 2 more left. Can't afford that. So you do this on both ends, like this. So one end will go on the battery, one end will go here. We'll figure out what the length is a bit later. Okay, ends are done. We've got the plus over here already from this guy. Then we're gonna do the minus real quick. Then we'll be done, so. We had a little bit of a hiccup with the bolt not wanting to come get tightened, the stock one, so we got an aftermarket one that we're going to use now. And here's the reason why you can't use an aftermarket one. Well, we could use it from this side, going into there. And this side will just be like this. Maybe. Always some kind of a problem here. Yeah, it'll work this way. So then we can flip this over this way. My goodness, why does it have to be so difficult sometimes? I just don't get it. Okay, I understand why it needs to be this way. But this way it doesn't want to be this way, so we're going to have to go this way. We've got all kinds of things trying to turn on. Had to use a new bolt and a new nut for stuff. Yeah, it only wants to go one way, which is okay. This is fine. We're going to take this back off. Put our ground. You guys never know what kind of situation you're going to run into. When you're fixing cars, doing stuff, be prepared that it's not a 5-minute thing. I thought this was a 5-minute thing, but it proves you wrong every single time that it's more than that. So, hopefully we don't lose this guy. Yeah, if you're afraid of sparks, then don't even touch this stuff. But if you guys are okay with the sparks, then you'll be fine. Now we're just doing this the regular way. Before, had a special bolt that was a square that kept it from turning. All those weird little things. I'm going to tell you what, we're going to finger tighten this, and then we're going to tighten it with the impact, and it's going to stay just the way it needs to stay. You don't need any German engineering for that. I'll show you guys that in a second here. And we're tight. No German engineering needed. It was a worthless bolt that shouldn't have even really wasted all my time. Wasted so much time on that. Okay, we're good. Let's power this on. We should have power. Flip this guy on. Boom. 120 volt. Whatever, 12.5 battery. Tells you how good the battery is, and we're working already. So it's going to go on right onto here, and we're done. I'll show you guys the final details here in a moment once I put this whole cover back on and everything else on. So that's it. There's such things called as Velcro strips, adhesive ones. It's big Velcro like this. It's got adhesive on both ends. So this is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to Velcro this guy. We use it for the RV. Nothing falls off the walls. So you do this, and then you just take these off. And you slap this onto here, and then we're just going to tape it to there. Finished products right there. I did have to use some screws because the Velcro does not want to stick to the car plastics. It's a little bit too unsticky, I would call it. But there it is, 500 watts, guys. This is all I need. I needed to charge my phones. I needed to charge, other outlets. I needed to work my fridge, and I needed to charge the drone and stuff like that. I'm not running a microwave. Peak is 1,000 watts, it says on here, but I'm not going to be testing that part. If I need to do a coffee maker, and if I need to run a microwave or any of that kind of stuff, I've got a 2,000 watt power bank. That's a Van Powers one, so I can use that for that. But I wanted something a little bit bigger and something that goes straight to the battery just for this purpose alone. And I wanted to have 2 cigarette lighter outlets that are separate, because I got one that's a factory one up here, and I've got one on this side. That's one right there. So if I need to turn this off, you just power it off, and that's it. Nothing gets drained in your battery, none of that. Or if you want to keep it on, there you go. Simple. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you. We'll see each other next time. And if you guys do want to get same one of these or a similar one, I'll leave the link to this one in the description. I bought it myself. It didn't get sent to me or none of that. So this is my, non-biased opinion of it, and I'll show you guys some more videos later on, tell you guys if I like it or not. But so far, what's not to like? Simple, compact, and it's going to do the job.